What up? What up? Week 11 waiver wire, breaking down all the positions. We're going to talk about some of the trending peeps, and we're definitely going to talk about some of the peeps that you can drop as well. Hit subscribe if you have not. Let's get into it. Moving forward on these videos, we're going to start going through all of the trends. Who are the most added, who are the most dropped, and where you need to be putting your waiver wire claims, and maybe even how much fab you should be spending. The guys who's been added the most by far so far, Audric Estime for the Broncos, running back. Ugh, it's ugly. He didn't do that good. The reason why everyone's adding him right now is because Javonte sucks. He got like no touches, and Estime got all the touches, 14 of those things. It's going to be bad for him moving forward. They have the 26th easiest schedule for running backs. So I feel like you really got to be desperate if you're going to go grab him. He only has 2 games where I'd want to deploy him versus the Raiders in week 12 and then versus the Colts in week 15. And the Colts have kind of been doing a little bit better at the run D. They got Atlanta this week. That has not been good. They got Cleveland in week 13. That hasn't been too good either. They got their bye in week 14. And then they got the Chargers in week 16 and the Bengals in week 17. It's pretty ugly all around. I would only grab him if you are super desperate for a running back. I say let your league mates go out and get him. Don't waste a bunch of fab on him. Feel free to put in your waiver claims. But I bet you that there might be people who pick up Estime and drop him because over the next 3 weeks, they got 2 out of 3 horrible matchups, and you got to buy in week 14. So that means 3 out of the next 4 weeks is not even going to be that useful to you. So is he worth a roster spot? Only if you are desperate. One other running back that we'll touch on real quick is Gus Edwards because he's been added like crazy as well. He got double-digit touches. Their schedule is even worse than Denver's schedule. They only have 1 good game on the docket the rest of the way, and that's in week 17 against New England. And New England didn't even look that bad against the run this past week. So I would say if you are not desperate for running backs, I say just avoid these. The matchups are so bad that it literally could benefit you if you are going up against someone who picks them up and uses them against you, because it is going to be bad for both of those guys. The sneaky ad of all the top added running backs this week is going to be Akers. A lot of this is going to depend on how hurt Aaron Jones is, so just make sure you hit subscribe and you're hanging out throughout the week. He actually has a decent schedule compared to all these other running backs. Week 12, 13, 15, and 16, all plus matchups. And they've already had their bye week. So if you're going to get sneaky with a pickup, I say you avoid Estime, avoid Edwards, avoid Jaylen Warren. He's someone I didn't even mention, but avoid Jaylen Warren. Horrible matchups. Akers, he's the guy. And jumping over to the wide receivers here, Marquez Valdes-Scantling. Whoo, what a resurgence that this dude had. I feel like he's going to be like one of those dart throw flexes, and he's got a pretty decent schedule over the next 4 out of the 5 weeks because they got their bye week in there. But they got Cleveland, great matchup. They got the Rams in week 13. They got Washington in week 15. But the worst thing about his schedule is week 16 and 17, not good matchups at all. So pick him up.
Pick him up!
Because he will be flex worthy. The other guy who's worth putting in a claim on, Mr. John Metchie. Now, we don't know how things are going to change when Nico comes back. But remember last week, I was telling you guys, just because Nico got designated to return from IR, that there was no guarantee that he was going to play. That's why you hang around here for the insight like that. Hutchinson just doesn't seem like the guy over there, even though he gets more snap percentage. Tank Dell obviously getting the most targets out of everybody, but Metchie was right up in the mix, and I feel like moving forward, maybe we see him step up because it ain't going to be Hutchinson, and they run 3 wide receivers like nobody's business out there. So MVS and Metchie, yeah, those would be guys who I would be looking to grab up. If guys like Ricky Pearsall and Juwanna Jennings are available in your league, go ahead and pick them up. They're just a lot higher than 50% rostered. So I'm only going to mention one tight end. You've heard me mention Jonnu. Ertz has a horrible schedule coming up. Only one tight end that I'm going to mention that you should pick up. It's a real sneaky pickup. It is Josh Oliver, who's put up double-digit points in each of the last 3 games. TJ Hawkinson is still out there, and I'm not even saying don't deploy him. But they like Oliver. They are hitting him often. He's got 2 touchdowns over the last 3 games, and Josh Oliver is playing more snaps than Hawkinson has. Hawkinson's been back the last 2 weeks. Oliver's been doing really solid over those 2 weeks as well. So he's the only one that I feel like is worth picking up at the tight end position right now.
Pick him up!
And also, don't forget, if you have any questions on who you should pick up, leave them in as a comment. I'll do my best to answer. And also, come hang out for the live streams. Turn on the notifications. When you turn on notifications, click the notification button, look at all the options, click all. Let me know when you do. Put a little bell in the comments if you've turned the notifications to all. The guy worth picking up here, I'm going to say Dangerous Wilson.
Too much of us is dangerous, so dangerous, we so dangerous. My flip mode squad is dangerous.
They got the Ravens coming up this week. I know they have a handful of bad matchups, but they got a handful of great matchups along the way as well. So if you're in a single QB league, week 11, 13, and 16 money matchups for Russ. If you're at this point in your season where you're already looking ahead, you might want to have 2 or 3 quarterbacks on your squad to where you pick and choose who you're going to be playing in what weeks, because it is all about the matchup. Now let's get to everybody's favorite segment, the defenses that you need to pick up and stream. Got some sneaky defenses for you. How about the Rams versus the Patriots? I know Drake May, he's handling a little bit of biz here and there, but I'm still not banking on him. Yeah, go pick up the Rams, play them versus the Patriots. That's one defense that you can pick up. How about the Lions versus the Jaguars? Let's do it. That should be a very, very solid matchup. You see the Lions are one of the most added teams right now. The lowest of the low-hanging fruit is going to be the Texans taking on the Cowboys. Yeah, Texans rostered in 28% on Sleeper. It's close to 50% on Yahoo. How about the sneaky of the super sneaky? The Green Bay Packers. Oh yeah, 21% rostered on Sleeper, a little higher on Yahoo. They are going up against the Bears. The Bears can't do anything. Caleb sucks. Going to be at least 2 INTs going down in this game for the Packers. Go pick them up.
Pick him up!
And fire them up.
All right, fire him up!
Now let's talk about some of these bums that you can get rid of.
Because I'm too old to waste my time trying to train a no-good loser like you, you bum.
Khalil Herbert. It was funny that everybody thought he was going to come in and be a thing. He's the most dropped guy at the running back position right now. I think he's fringe droppable. Tank Bigsby, it's just all bad for the Jaguars. Like, do we even want any of them, including ETN? Like, not really. Jordan Mason, yeah, he's great if you want to keep as a handcuff for CMC, but you might as well get rid of him. I don't know. There was people who were like really hyped about Devin Singletary coming into this week. I don't know why. Tracy is the guy. Get rid of him. Now with Keaton Mitchell coming back, they said that he's going to start getting more work. I really feel like during all these like crazy bye weeks, like you got to get rid of guys like that for guys who you can actually like start. One of the biggest drops, Javonte Williams. People are done with him, and you should be too. And then the wide receivers. Let's talk about the running backs and the wide receivers. Like, these are all the most dropped guys right now. If you're on YouTube looking at the screen, look on the right side of the screen. Parker Washington, fun, quick experiment. Get him out of there. Sterling Shepard, just no point of holding. Mike Evans comes back, and K. Dotton's just the man over there. Shepard is nothing. Tipton, MVS, he's what we wanted Tipton to be. Demarcus Robinson, he was always a super dart throw, nothing else. Same with Tolbert. Deontay Johnson, I know there was a lot of people who were banking on him. He might be worth banking on at one point, but man, do I want to keep him on my team to be waiting for that? Nah, not really. Get rid of him. Deontay's a bum.
He's a bum. He was a bum then, and he's a bum now.
Then you see guys like Xavier Worthy, Keon Coleman, Jordan Addison. If you're in a more shallow league, you might as well get rid of guys like that. Your 12 teamers, your 14 teamers, you got to keep some of those guys around. But yeah, Worthy just doesn't get much action. Keon Coleman, he probably got dropped a lot because he's hurt, so he might be someone you pick up a little bit later, but it's about to get freezing in Buffalo where they're about to be throwing even less. And then even Jordan Addison, they're throwing so much to the tight ends right now that kind of just eliminates him from being any kind of relevant. So yeah, feel free to drop all of these guys that I just mentioned. We made it all the way to the end. Let me know what you guys think of the new format. I figured one video where I quick hit everything is going to be a little bit better of a whole bunch of small like videos. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. If it's your first time here, hit subscribe one more time. Don't forget to join our community at 420 Crew. UNDERDOG.com. You can join to get advice. What a lot of people join for is to get into all these crazy leagues that I host. The next leagues that I'm starting are for the NFL playoffs. Get ready. Less than 2 months time. It is going to be super fun. And also go to fantasyfootballhustler.com, and that'll link you to everywhere that I am on the internet, all social media. You can go find the big fantasy Facebook group that has like 100,000 people. A lot of good things coming down the pipeline. So make sure you hit subscribe if you have not, and then turn on all notifications. And if you turned on all notifications, drop a bell emoji in the comments so I can see. Come hang out on the live streams, guys. Salute to all the veterans, even though it's the day after Veterans Day. Peace out.